You wake up, and before you even get out of bed, the exhaustion is already there. Not the kind that goes away after coffee, not the kind that a good night's sleep fixes. This is the kind that sits deep in your bones, that makes your brain feel like it's wrapped in thick fog, where you stare at a task for 20 minutes and accomplish nothing. You know that feeling. The one where you're sitting at your desk, everyone around you seems to be functioning just fine, and you're quietly wondering why your brain refuses to cooperate. That is not normal. That is not just who you are. And what I'm about to share with you might be the most important thing you hear all week, because here is what most people never find out. What you eat every single day is either fueling your brain or slowly suffocating it. And there is one daily habit, backed by real science, that thousands of people have already used to completely transform their focus, their energy, and the way they feel from the moment they wake up. Let's talk about it. But first, I want you to know something. There are related programs linked down below in the video description. People who find themselves at that breaking point, who feel like they've tried everything and nothing sticks. Those are the exact people those programs were built for. Don't wait until you're at rock bottom to look. The people who move first are the ones who see results first. Now let me paint the real picture here, because I don't want to gloss over the pain. You deserve someone who actually gets it. You've had days where you sit down to do something important and your brain just goes completely blank, not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because something inside your body is running on empty. You might have tried different things. Maybe more sleep, maybe cutting out sugar for a week, maybe expensive supplements that promised the world and delivered absolutely nothing. And every single time you hit that wall again, it feels a little more personal. Like your body is betraying you. Like focus and energy are things other people get to have and you're just trying to survive the day. That feeling is real, and it is exhausting in a way that is hard to even explain to someone who hasn't lived it. Now here is where everything shifts. Your brain is not broken. Your brain is hungry. Specifically, your gut and your brain are connected through what scientists call the gut-brain axis, and it is one of the most powerful biological relationships in your entire body. Studies show that more than 90% of your serotonin, your feel-good focus chemical, is actually produced in your gut, not your brain, your gut, which means what you eat directly determines how clearly you think, how steady your energy feels, and how well you can concentrate when it matters most. And the one daily habit that feeds this system in the most powerful way is eating fermented foods every single day. I'm talking about things like yogurt with live cultures, kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, miso, and kombucha. These foods are absolutely packed with beneficial bacteria that go straight to work in your gut, rebuilding your microbiome, calming inflammation in your body and brain, and flooding your system with the building blocks it needs to produce neurotransmitters that control focus, mood, and energy. This is not a trend, this is biology. Researchers have found that people who consume fermented foods consistently for just 4 weeks report measurably lower levels of mental fatigue and significantly improved ability to concentrate on demanding tasks. 4 weeks. That's it. And the improvement doesn't stop there, it compounds over time. But let me get even more specific because I want this to actually click for you. When your gut bacteria are out of balance, which happens from stress, poor diet, antibiotics, or even just years of eating processed foods, your body starts producing more cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and when cortisol is chronically elevated, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and deep focus, starts to underperform. You literally cannot think straight when your body is stuck in low-level stress mode. And most people have no idea this is even happening to them. Fermented foods help break that cycle by reducing inflammation, lowering cortisol over time, and allowing your brain to finally operate the way it was designed to. Now imagine waking up 6 weeks from now. You open your eyes and instead of that heavy dread, there's something lighter. You go through your morning, and there is a clarity that you haven't felt in a long time. You sit down to work, and the words come. The ideas come. The focus holds without you having to fight for it every single minute. That is not a fantasy. That is what happens when you feed your gut the right things consistently over time. People who make this one shift describe it as unlocking a version of themselves they forgot existed. One person said it felt like the static in their head finally turned off. Someone else described it as the difference between driving through fog and driving on a clear, sunny road. These are real transformations that happen when your biology gets what it needs. Now here is something important I want to address. Maybe you're thinking, I eat pretty well. This probably isn't my issue. And that right there is worth pausing on. Because most people who feel chronically tired and unfocused assume it's stress, or sleep, or just getting older. They never connected to their gut because nobody told them to look there. Research now shows that the average modern diet, even what many consider a healthy diet, is dramatically low in the beneficial bacteria that your brain needs to function at its peak. So if you've been eating reasonably well and still feel foggy and drained, your gut microbiome is almost certainly part of the answer. Here's how to actually make this practical starting today. Pick one fermented food and commit to eating it every single day. Just one. Plain Greek yogurt with live active cultures in the morning, a small bowl of kimchi with lunch, a glass of kefir in the afternoon. It does not have to be complicated. It does not have to cost a lot. What it has to be is consistent. Consistency is the key that most people miss. One serving once a week does nothing. Every day for 4 weeks is where you start to feel the difference. And by week 8, the people around you will start to notice the shift in you before you even fully realize it yourself. Now let's talk about what happens when you pair daily fermented foods with one more thing: omega-3 fatty acids. Found in foods like salmon, sardines, walnuts, and flaxseed, omega-3s are the actual structural building blocks of your brain cells. Studies have shown that people with higher omega-3 intake have significantly better memory, faster cognitive processing, and more stable energy levels throughout the day. When you combine fermented foods for your gut health with omega-3s for your brain structure, you are creating an environment inside your body where peak mental performance becomes the default, not the exception. This is the part where everything starts to stack, where your mornings feel different, where your afternoons stop being a battle, where you find yourself finishing what you start, remembering what you need to remember, and feeling like you're actually present in your own life again. And that last part matters more than people say out loud: being present. Because brain fog and energy crashes don't just affect your productivity, they affect your relationships. They affect how you show up for the people you love. They affect how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. When you fix your focus and your energy, everything around you changes too. This is a decision that costs almost nothing and pays back in ways that compound daily for the rest of your life. Now, if you're someone who wants to take this even deeper, who wants a structured path to rebuilding your energy, your focus, and the way your body feels from the inside out, the related programs in the video description below were built exactly for that. People who are serious about change, who don't want to spend another year feeling like they're running on half a tank, they're the ones taking action on those programs right now. If you feel that pull, that's not a coincidence. Act on it today.